Hi you guys, welcome back. And of course, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy, and in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about a conspiracy that has gone around for a long time now, that there are monsters living underground in Dulce, New Mexico. So stay tuned. Rumors of a massive alien base in a mesa at Dulce, New Mexico have been swirling around for decades. Now, the reason is because there is a lot of strange activity in this area of New Mexico. It was somewhat recently when the FBI actually declassified a document that was outlining cattle mutilation right there in the area of Dulce, New Mexico. Now, on top of that, there was also Operation Plowshare, which is where on December 10th of 1967, an atomic bomb was detonated in the hopes that they could begin to stimulate some type of natural gas to occur there. Now, there are many people who are kind of in the conspiracy theories who believe that this atomic bomb was actually set off for very different reasons than what they are telling to the public. And so that is where this story comes in. According to some conspiracy theorists, they believe that the gray aliens actually live in a base under Dulce, New Mexico, and that they are also working along with shadow parts of the U.S. government. So, in these theories, it says that these gray aliens have been here for quite a while, and that they are here for more nefarious purposes. If you remember the video that I made on the Betty and Barney Hill UFO sighting, and the video I made on the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, then you will remember that the aliens that they described in their sighting and abduction actually sound a lot like the gray aliens that we're speaking of in Dulce, New Mexico. And strangely, in the United States, there are far more sightings of gray aliens than anywhere else in the world. Although sightings do exist in other places, it is most commonly the grays who are showing up in the sightings from the United States. So it is believed by many that under this town of Dulce, New Mexico exists this base. And strangely, you're not allowed to dig anywhere around this area either. So that kind of adds to the conspiracy as well. Now, if this is true and it really is a base that has the grays involved, then you will remember that during Betty and Barney Hill's alien abduction, which I talked about in the abduction, it was as though these grays were taking samples of Betty and Barney Hill's DNA. And so that would beg the question, why do they always want to have DNA samples from humans? So that is where this story gets even weirder, because there have actually been whistleblowers, kind of like Edward Snowden types, that have come out about the goings-on at this Dulce base. And if you make it into the level 6 is what they call Nightmare Hall. In the Monster book, and this book is actually very entertaining to me, especially during Halloween Spooktacular, But in this monster book, there is a little bit about Nightmare Hall. And actually, there is a quote from this alleged whistleblower who remains unnamed in the book. And so the quote from this alleged whistleblower states, "Sir, first off, if you want the full story, let me know. But this will explain how Mothman came about." And let me just do a side tangent here. I did do a video all about the Mothman encounters in last year's Halloween Spooktacular, so I'll be sure to link it up above for you guys in case you want to learn more about what the Mothman is. But anyway, he continues and says, U.S. Energy Secretary John Harrington named the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory and New Mexico's Los Alamos National Laboratory to house advanced genetic research centers as part of a project to decipher the human genome. The genome holds the genetically coded instructions that guide the transformation of a single cell, a fertilized egg, into a biological organism. So the Human Genome Project is also being brought up here when it comes to this alleged base in Dulce, New Mexico, you guys. So let's keep reading and see what else this whistleblower has to say. And he says, the Human Genome Project may well have the greatest direct impact on humanity of any scientific initiative before us today. And that was quoted by David Shirley, the director of that Berkeley laboratory. Now, covertly, this research has been going on for years at the Dulce Biogenetics lab. Level 6, which I told you about earlier, is hauntingly known as, by the employees, as Nightmare Hall, and it holds the genetic labs at Dulce. So reports from the workers who have seen bizarre information also are quoted in this book. So some previous employees of this biogenetic lab in Dulce have this to say about Nightmare Hall. I have seen multi-legged humans that look like half human, half octopus. Also, reptilian humans and furry creatures that have hands like humans and cries like a baby. It mimics human words. Also, huge mixtures of lizard humans in cages. There are fish, seals, birds, and mice that can barely be considered those species. There are several cages and vats of winged humanoids, grotesque bat-like creatures, but 3.5 to 7 feet tall, gargoyle-like beings, and draco-reptoids. I find it very strange that he also mentioned that this is kind of where Mothman originates, because so many people in the United States and even all around the world have had sightings of Mothman, who happens to be like a man bat, like a human bat mixture, who's very tall. So it's very strange indeed and curious. Now, they go on, these employees of that lab go on to say that level 7 is even worse. Row after row of thousands of humans and human mixtures are in cold storage. Here too are embryo storage vats of humanoids in various stages of development. I frequently encountered humans in cages, usually dazed or drugged, but sometimes they cried and begged for help. We were told that they were hopelessly insane and involved in high-risk drug tests to cure insanity. We were told to never try to speak to them at all. At the beginning, we believed that story. So, honestly, you guys, this definitely sounds like a conspiracy theory, I know. But there are so many things out there that are just unexplained, and certainly things that are not told to the public. Because as you remember, as in my video about the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, Betty actually wrote a letter to Walter Webb where she stated that there were the Air Force military men who actually told her that UFOs are very real, but they do not share that information with the public in an attempt to keep the sightings, the reported sightings, down, so then they could really only focus on the true UFO sightings as much as possible. So, I don't know, you guys. What do you guys think about that? Now, another thing that I want to point out here is that with the Greys constantly being reported to be taking DNA samples from humans, it's no wonder that people believe that it is Greys that exist in this underground base in Dulce. Now, in 1979, there were claims of alien activity that first arose from Albuquerque businessman by the name of Paul Benowitz. Now, Paul was actually intercepting electronic communications from what he believed was an alien spacecraft. And so he ended up believing that he was also intercepting communication from this base underground at Dulce. Now, the Greys are linked to the flying saucer crash landing in Roswell, New Mexico as well in 1947. So these Greys have been spoken of for quite some time. And for some reason, they're very attracted to the state of New Mexico, but also just to the United States in general. Now, even though it was rumored that the atomic bomb went off to destroy all of these grotesque beings and, you know, these aliens that are creating these beings, it is still believed that the Dulce base does still exist underground there. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a conspiracy theory, or is this something that we might actually consider as real? I don't know, you guys. And if Mothman is real and has been seen by so many people, and this is where the Mothman originated, that's pretty creepy. It actually reminds me of that movie, Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen it? Well, at the end, these monsters are released from chambers and just kind of wreaking havoc on anyone they come in contact with. It is so scary and disgusting, but I'm going to show you a clip of that movie right now. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button. And if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe today right under this video. And once you have subscribed, you can then click the bell and be notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.